Wow, Cruella made me bust out my good fur. This is truly for the girls, gays, and theys. What an experience. Hello friends and welcome to my channel. I am so excited to dive into Disney's Cruella with you all today. I am hooked on this movie since I've seen it. I have thought about this movie every damn day. From start to finish, I am in love with this film. But why? I have been trying to figure it out since I've left the theater, but I think I may have it all figured out now. I think this movie captures the queer experience better than most. Let me dive into Cruella and tell you why I think this is one of the gayest movies I have seen in quite some time. Now, before I fully get into the queer experience, talking about the movie itself, talking about Disney's issues, and hopefully good future with the LGBTQ community, but I want to talk about this movie first off. Wow, this movie is pure camp. This is a modern day camp classic to me. From the aesthetic, from the soundtrack, to the costumes, to the acting, this is everything. But camp is something that's interesting because it speaks to the gay community often. I think a lot of us saw campy movies growing up, and it really connected with us. Hell, the Rocky Horror Picture Show has been generations of a blanket for gay kids and for queer kids. So I am curious of why camp really does connect with us. It could be the colors, it could be the weird outsider vibe, which we will dive into, but I just love that camp has this warm blanket feeling to me. I watched this movie and I felt at home. It's again some of the acting here. Emma Thompson and Emma Stone eat. They did not leave a single crumb on the plate for any of these other girls. I feel bad for other Disney movies this year because I'm like, yo, y'all have to compete with Cruella. Y'all let Emma Stone eat this movie up, and I'm not the biggest fan of her. I don't dislike her, but ever since La La Land, I haven't found my Emma Stone performance. I've kind of lost her to La La Land and how much I hate that movie, but now this is her comeback. But she's not alone. She's bringing Emma Thompson, who's playing the Baroness in this, who is everything. You think Meryl Streep in The Devil Wears Prada was top tier bitch in the world of fashion? No. The Baroness eats all of them up. I absolutely love it. There's also LGBT characters in this film. We'll fully dive into that in a little bit, but that just made me feel at home, and they weren't a thing. It didn't stop and pause the movie to go, oh, the gays are here. No, they just existed. It was just part of this film, and that's what I love. It welcomes you in. It's such a well-made film. I love the vibe, the aesthetic, the costumes. Oh my god, the costumes. The cinematography is interesting at times. It's not my favorite, but it's not the worst. I also think the directing, we could have maybe cropped this down maybe 20 minutes. I don't want to be in this movie theater as long as I need to be, but I did enjoy what was there. It was presented so well, but let's dive into it deeper. Let's get away from the surface level of why I like it, the fashion, the cinematography, the acting. Let's go into it deeper. Why did this speak to me as a member of the LGBT community so much? Now, for me, Cruella speaks to the queer experience in three very distinct ways. First off, we have the outsider story. Anyone who's ever been an outsider, that doesn't mean just gay people, that means anyone who's ever felt like an outcast to society, that's this story. This has, from the little bit, when we saw little Cruella try to figure out why other kids don't like her, and she's too weird, and she wants to do this, but she has a mom who understands that she's weird, and she wants to protect her, and then they let her out into the world, and the world eats her up. It is such a similar story to a lot of us. I had a mother who absolutely loved me, who knew I was a gay kid, but who wanted to protect me from the scariness of the outside world. Thankfully, I got out there and said, this ain't scary, this ain't nothing. And that's kind of what Cruella does. She understands the world is scary and that it's going to try to eat her up, but she's going to eat back. She's going to fight back, and I love that. I love seeing an outsider say, yes, I am an outsider. Yes, this is what I am going to have to face, but I'm going to do it fabulously, and I'm going to do it with pride and with happiness, and she really tries. Corella's not a happy character the whole time, but I think when she's truly being herself, when she's understanding that she is the outsider, when she fully morphs into Cruella, you feel that. I understand that fully. When I fully found who I was, when I kind of came out my second time, I always tell people I came out as gay very young, like 8 or 9, but I came out as a weird person later in life, and that's where I felt like Cruella went here. She understood she was weird, but when she accepted it, when she owned her weirdness later on, that spoke to me. That was so powerful. I love seeing an outsider story, and an outsider who just kicks everyone's ass. What I also liked here about the queer experience is, okay, sometimes we are labeled the bad guys by society. You know, a lot of us have dealt with this for years. Sometimes some of us owned the bad guy aesthetic. You think I'm the crazy queer in the closet? Well, baby, I'm going to be then. I'm going to be that monster under the bed. And that's what Cruella understands here too. If society is going to label me the outsider, and I can't do anything to change it, I have tried to be a badass fashion star, but I'm still not loved, well, I'm going to be the bad guy then. Like, I felt like the Billie Eilish song would have been perfect. Like, I'm the bad guy, duh. Like, yeah, that's how you feel. You feel like an outsider. You feel like a bad guy, but sometimes you do have to own that. Sometimes you're like, if my presence pisses you off, I'm going to enjoy pissing you off. I'm going to enjoy being the baddie. And I think that is such a powerful message. Look, a lot of us want to be loved and accepted, but sometimes we know that's not possible, so you just push back in a harder, a fiercer way. And that's what Cruella does here. When she starts being pushed by the Baroness, she goes, okay, you want to make me the bad guy. We all know you are the true baddie, but you want to make me the baddie? I'm going to outbad all of you. And that's what I love. And I'm not saying that I like gay people to be bad guys, and I'm not saying that we need to be, but some of us know our place in society as the heels, as the bad people, as the ones who aren't going to be loved and accepted, and sometimes we have to own that. We have to be that punk rock outsider to allow some of the more normal ones for you guys to have a good time. That's what I love, being the bad guy of the gays kind of thing. You feel like, well, I allow all the other ones to be accepted because I'm so over the top, I'm so theatrical, and I'm what people fear that, hell, you guys who pass, enjoy it. Enjoy your passing. I'm allowing you that privilege to pass by being so outlandish. That's what I feel Cruella really says here. It's not directly out like, I am the bad guy because I like being the bad guy. Like, that's not here, but you feel that. You understand that. Like I said, I eat that kind of stuff up, and it speaks to me personally. Something else that really helps Cruella capture the queer experience is how it's about building your own family. Since a young girl, Cruella is kind of on her own. So when she meets these two like guys who are kind of like little street thieves, she says, well, you guys can be my family. And then she starts adding more people to her family, and I love that. Chosen family is such a big topic for a lot of queer people. If your own family doesn't accept you, build your own. Make your own family. Blood does not mean anything. That's a big, big message of the story. Her blood, Cruella's DNA does not say who she's going to be, does not say who she has to like. It just says, that's where I come from, but I'm going to go on my own journey. I'm going to create my own family, my own friends, my own community, and I love seeing that. I think that is such a good message to have, and I think that's good for like non-queer kids as well. Just somebody to know, if your family isn't for you and you don't feel at place there, leave. Like, find your own path, find your own tribe. And that's what I love that Cruella does, kind of back that message up of like, look, society may not love me, but I have my group who does. That is what's important. I want these people to feel a community. Now, Cruella may not be the best person to her family the whole movie. Sometimes I do think she's a little too bitchy to the people who work with her, but at the same time, we all go through that. We all are like so like gung-ho on our revenge plot that we kind of ignore the outsiders, you know, the people outside of our tunnel vision. So I do enjoy that we got to see how complicated it can be, especially when you're trying to raise a house. Like, you think of like the show Pose or, you know, Legendary or Fashion Houses. You need that leader. Sometimes that leader's not always the best, but they're still the one that's there to hold this group together. That house mother needs to be a house mother, and Cruella learns that. She learns that, like, I am the mom to these weirdos, to these dogs, to these two goons, to my art friend, to my reporter friend. I need to be there for them, and I absolutely love that. I think this movie speaks to so much on that. I think this really does kind of go through the whole queer experience in so many little ways. Like I said, the outsider perspective, the being the villain and owning it, and then your own chosen family. Wow, this movie really just goes low blows and says, you're gonna love me. So, Disney hasn't had the best history with the LGBT community. As much as we know of the trope of Disney gays now, we haven't always been the most well-liked by Disney. We have had decades of queer-coded bad guys who are just like, they're bad because they're kind of fey, they're a little gay, so doesn't that mean they're kind of bad? You go to Ursula, Scar, Captain Hook, Hades, I mean, the list goes on. The one guy who's in Pocahontas who's so fierce but so horrible. It's just years and decades of queer-coded villains of us being the bad guys. Though, like I said in the last little section, we sometimes own that. We all love Hades because he is a fierce, fabulous queen. We all love Scar because, you know, he's not so normal. Like, we like these characters. So Disney tried for years to make gay people bad guys in the eyes of so many people, but we own that and we love these characters. So let's take us to more modern day Disney. They've tried. I don't want to give Disney too much credit until now. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, they have tried for years to make the gay thing work. We had LeFou that was in Beauty and the Beast. That was okay. Such a small moment that wasn't impactful. And I'm not saying the Artie character or any of the other gay characters in Cruella have this big, like, song and dance, but I also kind of like that. I like that Disney didn't do 18 hours of press saying, we have a gay person in this movie, aren't we doing great? And it's just like, okay, do something with your gay person. Putting them there is not the same as using them. That's how I felt about Avengers Endgame. I remember the MCU going, oh, well, we have a gay person in Endgame, and it's some dude, one of the Russo brothers at the beginning going, my husband was snapped, and we never see him again. Yay, Captain was nice to him, but like, give me Cap and Bucky as the gays. That's when I'll believe y'all. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for that moment where they actually fully embraced the queer community. They didn't just go, oh god, gays love us. We have Gay Day at Disney, and now we have to put them in our movies. No, they actually saw what they could do with Cruella. They have the Artie character, who is this fabulous David Bowie-esque queen, and he's so amazing. But there was also more kind of like gay characters around. I'm not going to claim anyone's sexuality because someone in the comments will be like, they're not gay, they're probably pan. Calm down. Breathe. I'm just saying there's a lot of queer characters in this story. Cruella, to me, feels queer in so many ways as well. So yeah, this is what I feel like they're slow and steady trying to build themselves up. This is how I want to see Disney handle LGBTQ characters. I want to see them like, just go slow, ease it in, and don't overdo yourself because you guys cannot handle it. I don't trust Craig Gillespie, I don't trust Jon Favreau to do gay characters all the time, but if you just slowly add them in and make them feel like a normal human, you will understand that it's just a normalized thing. So chill the hell out. That's what I really appreciate about Disney. We had the years of queer-coded characters. We had the fake bad attempts that they try to do. We'll see what Jungle Cruise does because they've touted a gay character in that. But I see Cruella and I see actual progress. I see them embracing the gay community, not begrudgingly, just going, look, you guys existed. 70s London in the fashion era? Yeah, you guys would be a big part of this. And we just existed there. That's all we want. Gay people, I don't want the whole song and dance in every show of gays are here, gays are here. I just want to feel accepted and normal. And that's what this movie did. They just made them a normal part. They were just as criminal as the other ones, and that's what I like. It's just good. It was just nice to see that Disney tried, and that's all I've wanted for years. Well, this video went longer than I wanted, but I just had to get out how I think Cruella really captures the queer experience. I had a blast watching this movie. Truly one of my favorite Disney movies in a while. Like, I mean a long while. I'm going to be thinking about this movie often. If I was little, I would have burnt out the VHS watching this every damn day. It is so good. But what do you guys think? Are you interested in this film? If you happen to see Cruella already, do you agree with me? Do you think it captures the queer experience, or at least kind of lets us, it like dog whistles the gays a little bit, like, hey, this is for you? Do you guys agree with me? Let me know down in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Alright everyone, let's talk about the queer experience, Disney's history with the gay community, and Cruella down below.